Come dobbiamo scegliere i titoli da inserire nel nostro portafoglio? Ecco, la domanda è complessa e riguarda soprattutto molto da vicino quelli che amano uno stile di investimento che adotta appunto la concentrazione, ovvero la domanda si pone soprattutto per chi ama avere in portafoglio 10-15 titoli, perché è evidente che chi invece investe in maniera passiva, magari tramite l'utilizzo degli ETF oppure con una profonda diversificazione, a quel punto lì va a inserire in portafoglio una tale quantità di titoli con una minima percentuale del proprio patrimonio per ogni titolo, e quindi il problema si pone di meno. Ma per noi che amiamo fare value investing e quindi dobbiamo scegliere un numero ristretto di titoli, ecco, come scegliere questi titoli? Ci viene incontro in questo interrogativo sia Monish Pabrai che Peter Lynch, che sono due grandissimi investitori e che vi farò ascoltare di seguito. Vi anticipo che mentre Monish Pabrai dirà che quello che dobbiamo fare come piccoli investitori, soprattutto se siamo all'inizio di questo percorso, è quello di andare a vedere all'interno di quello che lui chiama il club dei grandi investitori, cioè andare a spiare le mosse dei grandi investitori. E quindi questo è il primo suggerimento che ci dà Monish Pabrai. E poi ci dice che è importante il circolo delle competenze. Questo è un concetto che deriva direttamente da Warren Buffett e Charlie Munger, per cui è importante concentrarsi in quegli ambiti che noi conosciamo. E a proposito di quest'ultimo consiglio subentrano i consigli di Peter Lynch, il quale ci dice sostanzialmente: è inutile che noi ci concentriamo su calcoli astratti, su parametri, su formule matematiche per giungere al valore intrinseco di un titolo, ma piuttosto dobbiamo guardare nella nostra vita quotidiana agli oggetti che consumiamo, ai beni che consumiamo, a quello che ci gira intorno, alle cose che ci sono nella città in cui viviamo, e quindi capire di lì dove sono i grandi business. Questi due consigli dati da questi due grandi investitori sono entrambi molto validi, per cui io vi lascio a questi brevi filmati, vi ringrazio per l'attenzione e vi invito a lasciare un like e ci vediamo per prossimi contenuti.
Limit yourself to only buying businesses that have a write-up on Value Investors Club. If you use the Value Investors Club as a starting point to doing research, it trims down the data set quite a bit. And the write-ups are pretty good. So if you just went through and just read the write-ups and then just left with the ones that you think are businesses you understand or thesis that you agree with, then that becomes a basis to do more work and see if any of those can jive with you. So that can be a good source. Data Roma, which gives the 13F filings of a bunch of great investors, that can be another great source. Barron's could be a source.
If you own 8 companies, you're playing 8 simultaneous games of poker. So only stay in the games that you have the best chance of success. But remember that stories rarely change overnight. It may take years for a good one to be recognized by the market. Give your good stories the time to grow.
Your advantage in picking stocks is your direct experience with companies as a consumer, on your job as a professional, or as a neighbor. Use those advantages as a place to start looking for good stocks.
You have several things that you possess that will make you a good investor. They're inherent to your life. It's the field you work in. It's the area where you live. There may be some local company that's terrific. You're a consumer. You see some products. You see some services that are terrific. We bought a Volvo. It was better than the American station wagons. It was safer. The price was right. I did a little bit of research. I found that Volvo, the stock, it's a Swedish company, was selling equal to its cash. You're paying almost nothing for the company. They had lots of other divisions that were doing terrific.
Buying that car turned out to be a great way to begin researching the stock.
Sometimes people take things for granted. My field was the mutual fund industry. In the early 1970s, the industry grew slowly, but then it took off in the 80s. Money piled in to money market funds, to equity funds. Like an idiot, I missed stocks like Dreyfus, Pioneer, T. Rowe Price, Strategic Investments, Franklin Resources. There was lots of companies that went up dramatically. These are my own field. All I had to do was buy these things. It was really dumb. Back in the 1950s, a fireman from New England noticed a factory in his town seemed to be hiring and expanding all of the time. This person didn't have a Cray computer, and he wasn't a professional investor. He was just an observant neighbor. He decided to put $2,000 per year into TAM brands. then called Tampax. By 1972, the fireman was a millionaire, just from using his local edge. Investing is a personal thing. You have to do it by yourself. You don't do it with a committee. You have to be able to have the emotional strength to stand the volatility of the market in general and stocks in general. The key organ here is not the brain. It's the stomach. Do you have the stomach for this? Do you have the patience for it? You should be able to look in the mirror and say to myself, what am I going to do if the market goes down?
If you know something that will drive a company's earnings higher, you know something that will drive a company's stock higher, sooner or later. But you can't just guess at it. You have to have some reasons, such as costs are coming down, or new products going to be a big hit. Research is developing a company's story, an idea of why earnings should go up or down. It doesn't mean sitting in the library for hours, reading SEC filings, or fiddling with a calculator.
Research is exciting. It's very little math. When I owned Chrysler, it was the biggest position in my fund. When I was at a movie theater, at a sports event, I'd run into somebody driving a minivan. I'd ask them, what do you think of the minivan? Would you buy another one? What do you like about it? Some would say, well, it's a little underpowered. They only have a 4-cylinder engine. I knew they were already working on a 6-cylinder engine.